This is Talking Bullish, the new Bradford Bulls fan podcast. With your hosts, Alan Raisin and Laura Micklefield.
This week, we're having a look back at the Oldham match, having a look towards the Widnes match, and having a game of Bull or No-ble.
But first, we go to Odsall. Here we are at Odsall on a Friday night, a nice sunny evening, experiencing the Friday night fever.
Yeah, ready for the fireworks, but it's nice and sunny at the moment.
Yeah, very good. So we're expecting a tough game today, aren't we?
Definitely. Depends who turns up. It looks like a good team. Definitely strong enough to do it. Just depends on the application, I suppose.
Good team that Oldham has sent as well, though. So it's not going to be easy, as we say.
No, definitely not. Could be one we can slip up on again, but hopefully we can change things around tonight.
Yes, there we were at Odsall on Friday night, experiencing a great game. I would say under the lights, it was quite a light evening, wasn't it?
Yeah, it were good atmosphere again. I am enjoying these Friday nights. I like that the build up and all the pyrotechnics and stuff. I am enjoying it. I think others are too. So yeah, it was nice to be there. Nice weather. Managed to. I think we went the whole match without any rain. I think it was quite nice.
I think so. Yeah. And then, we started well, getting a penalty early on, and someone bought their kicking boots.
Yeah, so decided to go for two, which I thought was a wise thing to do. I thought the trajectory of the match was probably going to be a tough one, so yeah, thought smart to take the two there. So we went 2-0 up pretty quick. And then about 12 minutes in, we capitalised again. It was a lovely play from the scrum, through hands and ending with a looping pass from Holmes to Ock, who ran about 25 metres to score in the corner. A lovely try. I thought the pass from Holmes was brilliant. And like you said, Lily brought his kicking boots this week. Make it 8-0 at that point. Yeah,
and only... after that was 12 minutes in. So, a nice fast start from the Bulls. And then after that, another few minutes pass. It's 26 minutes in and we get passing again. Who is this team?
I know. Just baffling, to be fair. Because obviously last week I seemed all doom and gloom about it. Seemed that the post-match commentary and stuff was very much about, we need to play more boring and conservative and all this sort of thing. And then, I don't know, we just seemed to go on the attack and, throw these passes out and stuff. And, I'm not complaining.
No, so that brought it to 14-0.
Yeah, I mean, Oldham did pull one back at that point. It was, to be fair, a lovely no-look pass from PLT to the winger, and they converted that, so it made it 14-6 at half-time. Half-time thoughts. I thought it was one of the best halves we've had so far this season. Looked hungry in defence. I noticed a lot, and I think I'd said it to you at the match as well, that you noticed that the defensive line was moving up. We weren't just waiting for the attack, and we've tended to do that in the last couple of matches, I've thought.
Yeah, it was a notable difference from the game against York, where, as you say, we were just holding back all the time, it seemed. But this week, actually getting into the other team and, being successful.
Yeah, I think it put much more pressure on them and made them not be able to play the way they wanted to play, which is why I think we restricted points, especially in that first half. I mean, I know we let one try through, but it was on the edges, and like I say, it was just from a lovely bit of passing through hands, really. I think we had much more structure in attack as well. I think getting Tom Holmes back, I think that added a lot. I think he had a brilliant half. I thought that he was instrumental in a lot of the plays we did, and I know he got a couple assists throughout the game, but I could really tell the difference that we didn't look as lost on the line. It's like we had a plan when we got there.
Yeah, and PLT was a handful all game, wasn't he? I guess you expect that from a Hull KR player.
Yeah, I think he's going to be some player to watch in the future, definitely. I don't think we'll be seeing in the Championship for long. I think he's done a couple of seasons with Oldham now, but I definitely think it's not far off until we start seeing him in Super League. I think he's a brilliant player, and he's definitely entertaining to watch. I mean, as much as I were kind of hating it when we were backing off a bit and he were threatening to break through the line and such, he is a handful. We did keep him relatively quiet, I thought. Yeah. But yeah, apart from PLT, no disrespect to Oldham, but I don't think they had the most brilliant of halves. I don't think they were bad by any means, but I thought pretty average really, and it only seemed to be PLT and Kieran Dixon on the wing as well. He did cause us a bit of trouble in defence, but apart from those two, I think we kept them under control.
Yeah, and then the second half started, and we had another good bit of defence pushing Oldham into touch. It was really good.
Yeah, I loved that enthusiasm. That's what I really enjoyed, I think, this match. I mean, I feel like I've been all doom and gloom on our last few podcasts. Everyone like, oh, Laura, cheer up a bit. But I did actually, I really enjoyed the defence. I mean, I know we've talked about like the lack of oomph in the attack and stuff, but I actually enjoyed watching defence this week very much so. Loved that we pushed them into touch and how enthusiastic it was. And yeah, that resulted, that next set, I think it ended with the ball being ripped from Sker. This was about 46 minutes in, and yes, sensible again, going for goal. I know a lot of people were thinking, I know my nephew, for example, he was like, what's the point? Let's go for the try. We were on a roll, all that sort of thing. But no, I like that we were showing him respect, and I think we've learned our lessons from the fact that missed goals can lose the matches, especially if they were to come back. So yeah, I think that was a wise decision to go for goal, making it 16-6 at that point.
Yeah, and then we had a bit of bad luck. Really good play between Tom getting G through, but unfortunately throwing a forward pass just before it goes over the try line. So a bit maybe borderline on the replay, but if it had been just timed a little bit better, would have been a lovely try.
Yeah, watching the replay, what was such a shame. I mean, it wasn't massively forward. It probably was forward, but, putting my Bradford Bulls blinkers on, I'm saying it were borderline and it looked like a lovely try to me. But, still, it was nice to see that we were actually, again, breaking through, even if we didn't capitalise at that point. But then we got at 55 minutes in, there's a great attack again, and a brilliant cut-out pass from Holmes to Gill, who just slides through the defence for another Bulls try. I thought that was, again, a lovely bit of play. I thought Gill were getting back to his attacking prowess that he's known for. And yeah, another brilliant Tom Holmes assist. I think he were having a brilliant match, really do. And yeah, Lily in the boots, like we said, converted it again, 22-6 at that point.
Yeah, and I don't think you maybe share this opinion, but after that, I think Oldham did pick it up a bit, and I felt like if they were going to score, then that was the sort of period that they might have done. However, we had another push into touch from the Bradford defence. Really hungry for it again. And then in fact, Oldham then did score 65 minutes in as the ball wasn't cleared in the in-goal area. That was he sort of knocked it towards the dead ball line, but didn't quite reach it.
Yeah, it didn't go. I watched it on the replay as well, and it's just one of those unfortunate things. It didn't clear. Like it, I think it was Doro that went to kind of knock it out, missed it or mistimed it, so it happened to bounce in the field of play just in time for their half-back Drinkwater to get through and dot it down. Bit of an unfortunate try, but like I said, I didn't feel like it was a soft try like we've seen in the others. I think it was just unfortunate. The ball can bounce anyway, and obviously, a little mistake with not clearing it, but things like that happen, and obviously it was close enough to the post for them to get a conversion to make it 22-12 at that point. But I get what you mean about there seemed like that's when they were getting back into it. But I did feel like watching Bradford and how like I usually get a feeling for how things are going, I never felt too nervous that we were going to revert at that point. I know in previous matches I've kind of watched it and then thought, we've had this 20 minutes patch where we've been good and then we slip back into penalties and errors and all the rest of it. But I felt like we consistently were much, much better this week.
And then finally, 72 minutes, more balls, pressure, and we have a lovely pass from Bayliss to Doro for another try.
Yeah, I really liked this one. I liked that it was fast hands from two props. It's usually, like you say, your half-backs or your hookers or your full-back with assists. But I thought it was lovely that the assist came from one prop to another, and like the acrobatic finish from Doro as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think he was taking tips from one of the bullets who likes to do a few flips after the tries, doesn't she? So, I think he was trying to emulate that, I think. But yeah, I like that. And then at that point, obviously, Lily was off the field. So Hooley took the conversion and again converted.
So a great showing by the Bulls today.
Yeah, excellent win, 28-12. Definitely an improvement from last week. Really enjoyed it.
28-12. Yeah, thoughts, Alan?
It was a great game, yeah, wasn't it? Obviously a dominant scoreline. Lots of really good tries. Really, really pleasing evening of rugby. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I felt like I said earlier, I think we always looked in control of the game. I was impressed that even when Oldham got their second win, like you said, in that second half, when they got the second score, we kept calm, fronted up in defence, diffused the pressure, and we then ended up with the final try of the match. So it's one of those where we didn't take our foot off the gas even once they'd scored and the momentum switched a bit, which I really liked seeing because it was like the most convincing 80 minutes performance I've definitely seen in quite a while, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And that was also reflected in the No-ble press conference afterwards. He also said it was one of the best 80 minutes he's seen for a while, I think he said. Yeah,
it was brilliant. I did think it made a big difference getting Armitage, Holmes and Suter back. Looked much more organised. I felt like we were going to score when we got near the line. Like I haven't felt like that in the last few matches especially. But I just really hope we take that momentum into the next game. Just on the note of obviously getting bodies back and stuff, I think, as I mentioned before, I think Holmes was particularly brilliant. He would have been my man of the match, to be fair, but it was also really good to see Suter back. I know he didn't do many minutes. Lily did the most of the minutes in the hooking role, but it was great to see him back, and I think it were easing him back into it. So, yeah, hopefully if we've got the same squad ready for the Widnes challenge coming up this week, then, yeah, I'm hopeful.
So, yeah, Ock getting man of the match and then Hitman going to G.
Yeah, I was glad to see G get Hitman, to be fair. I think he's going under the radar a lot this season. I think he's a bit underappreciated, not by the fans, obviously, but just as in like for mentions and such, and probably even from us on the podcast, we've not said much about him, but he's very consistent, very powerful, and I thought he had a brilliant match both in attack and defence, and well-deserved Hitman for me.
But in terms of that, there's not much more Bradford Bulls news to talk about. Certainly no news of any signings or loans this week. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking there might have been some, because I know there was some talk about maybe some permanent signings or something coming up. But again, it's just talk. You don't always know if it's true or not, and depends where, obviously, all the talk's coming from. But on the other side of the coin, I mean, not hearing about loan signings is hopefully a positive thing, because it means that we're getting back fully fit. I mean, if there's any time in the season to be getting bodies back and getting some consistency in the spine, this is it. So I'm really hopeful that we kind of kick on from this match and have turned a corner a little bit, because I think if you obviously listen to the podcasts last week and the week before, I wasn't talking so positive. So really enjoyed what we saw and really hopeful we can kick on for the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. And just 7 games to go, it seems. So it's getting tight now.
Yeah, it's coming down to the wire, isn't it? We're both York and Toulouse winning this week. Obviously, we're 2 points behind them, but we're also 2 points in front of Oldham, chasing in 4th now as well. So at least we've got a little bit of daylight there. I also noticed, I think is it 5 points ahead of the... is it Halifax who's next? Might be wrong, need to check that. But we've got a bit of a buffer. Not that I want to use it. And I don't want, obviously, for us to start losing matches now. It'd be great to kick on. But there's still a really good chance of getting higher up in the table. I know that Toulouse have got York to play. So that will obviously... That'll give us a chance to kind of go up a bit. We've obviously done our time against York this season, and thank God for that, unless obviously we see them in the playoffs. But we have got Toulouse to play as well, so that's a big match to come for us to where we end up in the season.
So coming up this weekend, it's Widnes away. And I remember not so long ago, we had a podcast where we were celebrating the first win against Widnes in a very long time. So what do you make of this match coming up?
Well, I've got split thoughts on this one. Widnes at the minute are not playing as good as they could be. I know that their fans are quite frustrated. I know that they're in a bit of a lull.
I really am surprised by that because they've beaten Toulouse at home by quite a margin recently.
Yeah, I mean, that were a really good result, to be fair. I think it's like the overall season that the fans I saw on social media were speaking about. I think out of all their home matches so far this season, they've only won 3. Obviously Toulouse being one of them, which is great for them, and it was great for us. But so I think they're thinking they should be performing better than they are, especially at home. But having said that, we don't have a good track record of beating Widnes anyway, which we did break the Hoodoo, like we said this season, but we don't have a good record of beating them at home. So I think the last time we won at Widnes was in 2022. So it's one of those where I feel optimistic about it, which worries me. So I just hope we don't get too confident and slip up. I know obviously we want confidence, we want to bring in that eagerness in attack, the resilience in defence like we had this week, but at the same time I just hope we don't do I just hope we don't do that thing where we go in thinking, right, we're confident, we're going to win this, and then we just really underperform. So I'm going to go with we're going to get the win by a slim margin.
Yeah, I think that's likely. Widnes aren't, as you say, flying high in the table. They obviously have had some good results, but not very many. And we've shown we can beat them this season. So, I would like to say I'm going to go for let's say a 6-point win.
Oh, God, if we're both predicting a win, it's worrying me now. But yeah, it is. It's hit and miss with them this season. But then again, I suppose if they're beating top teams, it might show that they beat us. And but I am hopeful that we hopefully can break the away Hoodoo this week.
So Halifax are back at Odsall on Friday playing York. So York will be sick of travelling to Bradford by the end of the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not been a bad place for them to go, to be fair. So.
That's true.
Let's just hope they perform like they did against Halifax. But, well, no, to be fair, either way with that, I know, obviously, if York do slip up, we have a chance of chasing. But, again, if they beat Halifax, that's another team we don't have to worry about who's chasing us. So it's so kind of unpredictable sometimes in the championship of who's going to win what, that it can be beneficial either way, which is, I suppose, why a lot of the time when you hear Brian No-ble talk about the Bulls and where we are in the table and what's happening and stuff, he does just want to focus on our performances and what we can do, because...
Of course, that's the only thing you can affect.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you can't control what goes on elsewhere. So, I mean, sometimes, yeah, as fans, I think we pay attention to that. I know, especially do the few fans around us at the matches, I can always hear them saying what halftime scores are at other places and such. But yeah, if we want to finish high in the table and higher than we have done previously, it's up to us to do it. Have we done too many slip-ups already? Possibly. But like we say, there's some big matches coming up, so we shall see.
Yeah, still 7 matches, as I say, to figure that one out. Also this weekend, Barrow versus Toulouse. So that might be a potential slip-up for them.
Yeah, it could be a banana skin for them, to be fair. It's, there's potential for it. With Barrow's a tough place to go, and especially if you're flying over from France and then going up to Cumbria. Obviously, depends where they fly into, but yeah, the travel could take a toll with that one. But yeah, let's hope it does.
And then we've got Doncaster versus Batley, Featherstone versus London, Oldham versus Hunslet, and of course our game at the end.
Yeah, so I think probably the most interesting ones are the York Halifax and the Toulouse and Barrow. So Barrow Toulouse, sorry. Yeah.
So that's the weekend coming up. So, hopefully we get both points from those games. So all that's left now is to play Bull or No-ble.
Yeah, my turn for the questions to pose to you this week, Alan. So I was getting confused with myself whether we did 2 Bull questions or 2 No-ble questions, so I've just made my own rules up.
That's okay. I totally got it wrong last week, so you're totally within your rights to pose them as you wish.
Great. Well, I did try and change things slightly to make some true or not true, and then I thought maybe I shouldn't have done because it should have been the other way, but it's fine. So we're going for, just to clarify, there are 2 Bull statements, untrue, and there is 1 No-ble that is true. So you're looking for the true statement. Right, so these are the 3 statements. I based this because we try to do kind of a little theme each time, I'm finding now, that around loans, because I know there's been a lot of, well, I'd say other fans having a bit of a dig at Bradford about how many loan players we use, but everybody does it. Anyway, so the 3 statements. First, about loan player Aribi Doro. Aribi Doro was a permanent player for the Bulls for 2 seasons before signing for Hull KR. That is my first statement. The second statement is Jordan Lilly and Sam Hallis both originally came to Bradford Bulls on loan from the Leeds Rhinos in 2017 before they signed permanently for the Bulls.
Okay.
Third one, Fenton Rogers, our current loan signing, was a permanent signing for the Bulls in the 23-24 season before going to Huddersfield Giants.
Okay, these are quite hard. Now,
I have been a bit mean this week because, it's the kind of, I'll explain when I give you the explanation.
There's lots of ways that I could get this wrong. So I'm pretty sure that Doro was a permanent player for Bulls previously before going to Hull KR, but it could be for a different length of time. Who knows? I have no idea about whether Lillian Hallis played for the Rhinos. No idea. And also Fenton Rogers, I had never heard of him prior to about 2 weeks ago. Okay, so my guess is that Doro was a permanent signing for Bradford previously.
Unfortunately, Alan, you are incorrect.
Oh, that's not really surprising.
So I'll go through the statements and let you know.
Yes, please.
So the Aribi Doro was a permanent player for Bulls for 2 seasons before signing for Hull KR. That is Bull. he was a permanent player for us, but only for the 23-24 season. So I was a bit cruel there, because you are correct, but yeah, length of time, like you said, I have tricked you with that one. Jordan Lilly and Sam Hallis both originally came from the Bulls on loan from Leeds Rhinos in 2017 before they signed permanently with the Bulls. That is the No-ble question. No. So yes, they both came to us on loan. I think there were about 4 players who came from the Rhinos on loan that season. It's when we were having a bit of a tough time. And yeah, both of them stayed with us. Hallis has been in and out since then. I think he went to Hunslet very briefly. He's been to Newcastle, but then he's come back to us. And Lily stayed with us ever since. So yeah, that's that one. And Fenton Rogers was a permanent signing for the Bulls in 23-24 before going to Huddersfield. Again, a little bit cruel this, Alan, even if you did know, because it's a Bulls statement because he was already a Huddersfield Giants player. He did come and play for us for the whole 23-24 season, but on loan. So he's been loaned to us twice. So I was a bit cruel this week. I will admit that.
No problem at all, Luis. We've all learned something. And that brings us to the end of another episode. Thank you very much, Laura.
Thank you, Alan. It's it's been great doing our first 10 episodes, and now we're on number 11. So we will keep going and hopefully get some more listeners. And like we said, as always, you can always send us a message or have a chat with us and see what you want including, or any kind of different features that you think could be good to include. It is a fan podcast after all, so we'd love more fan interaction. You can message us on X, Facebook,
just all the normal ways. It's easy to reach us.
Yeah, you can message us on all the social media sites, and make sure you actually give us a listen through YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, or Apple Podcasts.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, thanks a lot for listening again, and we shall be back next week.
Come on, you Bulls.